Hey guys, Bob Moses here, and today we are playing San Andreas multiplayer. Welcome to Los Santos, and this is kind of like a part 2 to my hemp growing video because there's been some important changes. So if you're not really familiar with growing hemp, I recommend go check out that video. I'll put a link up above. But yeah, there's been a couple of changes, and the first one being that in San Fierro you don't buy hemp down at the garden shop anymore. You now buy it in Hashberry at the Bings and Bongs shop, and they've also added a custom interior to both this one and the one in Los Santos. So it's kind of like a weed shop. It's got your Rasta guy selling, and I didn't mean to rob the shop. I just try to get a bit of a zoom in, but you know, we'll just let it happen. And yeah, they've added some stuff that you can buy here, which is quite cool. So if you go up to the shopkeeper, you'll see that he has 3 things for sale, and you can now buy your hemp seeds as you've always been able to, but you can also buy a crack pipe with different colors as well as medical marijuana. So you can buy any of these crack pipes. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And then you can also buy medical marijuana, which is 5 grams for 7,500. So it's not cheap. So you're definitely not going to want to buy that for general drug wars purposes or anything like that. But it is quite cool if you just need it for, as it says, medical. You know, because if you smoke weed, you can get some health for that. So you can get some over there now. If you see what the crack pipe looks like, I think I bought the green one. Let's take a look. The gold one. But yeah, looks quite cool. So if you want your custom crack pipe, you can do that. The other thing that they've added, which I think is quite cool, is the ability to add fertilizer to your plant to increase the amount of weed or hemp that it produces. So if you're familiar with fertilizer from your weed farms, you know that you can get this from the Happy Farmer, which is the last website on the computer. If you go over to buy, you'll be able to buy 5 fertilizer, which will deliver nearby. It's usually just around the corner, so this one was a little bit fast, so I'll just speed it up. And then yeah, once you pick that up, you'll have your 5 fertilizers in your inventory, and once you've planted a plant, you can then add that, and I'll show you how that works in a second. So yeah, picked up the ferts, and now let's go find a place to plant it, and I'll show you how that all looks. So I just planted randomly on the beach over here. So just bring up your inventory, go down to your hemp seeds, you can plant it, and then open up your inventory again. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll get your fertilizer. So I had a little bit of lag when I was adding mine, and yeah, you can see it's going to increase it by 25%, so that's quite cool. So if you come back, you know, you'll get a bit extra each time, which is quite cool. And then if you don't know, you can also destroy your plants and other people's plants, and this can actually be quite useful because there is a limit to the number of plants that the server can have at any given time. So if you want to plant one and there's not enough availability, you can just destroy one of yours that's going to be finished soon. I think they only last for 24 hours anyway. And yeah, you can do that by just bringing up /server to check out how many plants are currently on the server. And then yeah, feel free to break them, or if you want to grief other players, you can break their plants too. And then the other thing that they've added is the ability to confiscate it as a police officer. Well, they've actually always had the confiscate ability, but you'll now get a reward for doing that. So I'm a cop, and you can see as I'm watching somebody planting, they're not going to get any stars for planting in front of a police officer, but once they've planted it, I can go up and confiscate it. You don't really get a lot of cash, to be honest, but you do get a chunk of XP, so that's worth something. If you are a police officer, I'd recommend just harvest the plant first and then confiscate it. That way you get both rewards. And then the next thing I wanted to check was whether or not you can add fertilizer to another player's plant. So if they planted it and you want to come and harvest more of theirs in future, you can maybe put some fertilizer on. And the first time I tried that, I was actually a little too far away. I didn't realize that. OG Tom put a bit of his own fertilizer on, but as I went a bit closer, it turns out you can actually add fertilizer, so that's quite cool. So if you and a buddy maybe get a collection of hemp plants together, then just remember you can put fertilizer on theirs and they can do it on yours too, which is going to increase the overall yield of that plant. So that's pretty cool. And that's going to be it. Let me know how you're getting on with your hemp plants. I've actually found some nice places to hide, so I've been able to harvest quite a bit, which is helping me out in the drug wars and stuff like that, which is quite cool. And yeah, until next time, this is going to be Bob Moses signing out for SAMP Stories.